I gotta get me one of these things, man. Hey, what's up everybody? I'm Justin with AmericanMuscle.com and welcome to a special Raptor review edition of Hot Lap. Yes, we got our hands on one of these things. I know you probably have caught a few Raptor reviews up until this point, but hopefully you guys will dig ours. Now before we get into things, I just want to remind you to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so already for great Mustang, F150, and of course Raptor content. Also want to bring you guys up to speed. We're now going to do 2 hot laps a month. That's right, double your pleasure, double your fun, so be sure to stay tuned for that. But for now, enjoy our take on the Raptor, and spoiler alert, things got a little muddy. This is the 2017 Raptor, the baddest, most capable factory-produced truck of its kind. And on paper, it's better than the previous generation Raptor in just about every way. But we're gonna put that to the test here today, give this thing a thorough once-over, and decide if the 2017 Raptor deserves to be crowned the king of all off-road factory trucks. Now, Ford actually debuted the original Raptor back in 2010 in what I can only imagine was a dare between Ford execs at some dive bar in Michigan over a few beers, just to build the baddest, craziest truck of its time, and that's exactly what they did. Now, fast forward nearly 7 years later, and different manufacturers are still coming up with their own renditions of off-road tomfoolery, but no one has done it quite as well as the Blue Oval in my opinion. And that never has been more apparent than with the 2017 Raptor. All right guys, before we go any further with this video, I have to address something here. Yes, this truck is powered by a V6, and no, it doesn't sound as good as a V8. However, the sooner we get past this fact, the sooner we'll be able to enjoy this truck for what it fully is. So, deal? All right, let's do it. Let's go to the tail of the tape here, compare some of the flashy stats, and see if the new Raptor is actually better than the old Raptor. On the surface, power numbers, the Ecoboost wins, right? 450 horsepower, 510 foot-pounds of torque. At the crank, mind you, that is better than the previous generation 6.2, 411 horsepower, 434 foot-pounds of torque. So, clear victor goes to 2017. What about travel? Well, that's obviously something that's pretty important with an off-road vehicle, right? And with the 2017 Raptor, you're looking at about 13 inches of travel for the suspension up front, 14 in the rear. That's better than the previous generation Raptors, 11 inches up front and about 12 inches in the rear. What about that ground clearance? Well, that is up with the next generation Raptor here, about 12 inches what you're looking at with the 2017 compared to roughly 10 inches with the previous generation Raptor. And the amount of water that you can safely enter and exit is up 2 inches here with the 2017. But what if you're really serious about off-roading? Then you probably really care about that approach, breakover, and departure angle. Well, happy to say they're all improved here with the 2017 over that last generation Raptor. So again, you can see a pattern here, right guys? So far, the next gen Raptor is much better than the previous generation, and as a manufacturer, that's what you want, right? You want to push the truck forward, you never want to go backwards, and it's safe to say Ford did not do that here with the next generation Raptor. But what do you say we hop out of the truck real quick, walk around, and take a look at what's new here with the 2017. Now, just like the original Raptor that debuted over a half a decade ago, the 2017 takes the standard F-150 cabin body and just injects them with a massive amount of steroids. Now, both the front and the rear of the truck have been widened over 6 inches to be exact, and the front of the truck does receive some vents here in the fenders in addition to the hood, which does help add a very tough appearance. But without a doubt, my favorite part of the truck from an appearance standpoint is the front end. Just super tough looking, Ford spelled out loud and proud. You got the signature LED running lights here in the grille, and my personal favorite blacked out LED headlights, which I will promptly be stealing after this video for my personal F-150. Walking down the side of the truck, you get a better sense for the size of this thing and that new altitude thanks to the all-new for 2017 Fox Racing suspension that we will dive into a little bit later on. But for now, just know that it's enough height to squeeze in the all-new for 2017 BFG KO2s. This is a 315/70/17, basically equates to a 35-inch tire in diameter. They're currently wrapped around your base option for wheels. This is the 17-inch cast wheel. You can ball out and go with the beadlock capable forged wheel, set you back $1,100. Now these KO2s are actually specific to the 2017 and newer Raptors. Ford actually worked with BFG when designing the KO2 for the Raptor here, gave it a unique tread compound, giving it a little bit less rolling resistance, and also kept the volume down as well, or the noise when driving, which we all know with an aggressive tread like this is an easy task. It's a party out back as well. We got the flared bedside panels like we talked about a little bit earlier. Completely new bumper here as well, different from those standard F-150 bumpers to make room for that new dual exhaust system, but also help to give you a little bit more of a departure angle when you're really wheeling this thing off-road. Now that dual exhaust system, well, depending on your taste, doesn't sound that bad. It's loud enough to give you a little bit more of an experience, but without being over the top. And Ford has actually come out and said they didn't want to hide or run away from the fact that this thing is a V6, and they didn't want to mask the exhaust note because of it. Now they also actually offer a few different expensive graphics options as well, but if you're the less is more type of owner, you might want to skip the $1,000 those things are going to cost you and put it towards something a little bit more useful. Now, the old Raptor, yes, it had an off-road mode, but if you wanted to twist or tweak a few things, you had to do so through a cumbersome combination of button pushes, switches, and all that good stuff. Not the case here at the 2017. Everything is very clearly laid out for you for whatever terrain you're about to cross. Now, this is going to control everything from your engine parameters to your 4x4, your steering feel, and even your traction control, and will set the locker for you if needed. It's a great way to take all the guesswork out of off-roading and allow you, the driver, to focus on the terrain ahead. But let's run down these driving modes because there are 6 altogether to choose from, 3 on-road, 3 off-road. For your on-road modes, you have normal, basically what you drive the truck every day, barring any bad weather. There's a sport mode that does kick up the engine parameters a little bit, helps the truck feel a little bit more sporty, changes some of their transmission settings as well, keeps the truck in gear a little bit longer, and also changes your steering feel. Last but not least, for the on-road modes, you have weather. Now this is really going to dumb the truck down as far as engine parameters. It's going to kick in some traction control help as well, and it's also going to help you kick in the 4-wheel drive automatic mode to help you get through some bad weather. Now the off-road modes are where things start to get a little bit interesting. For instance, there is a mud or sand mode. There's also a Baja mode and a rock crawling mode. That Baja mode is what Ford is most proud of with the 2017 Raptor, and this is going to be used in high-speed desert running type scenarios. One thing I do really think is cool about this feature here is that they built in an engine calibration with an anti-lag. So when you're running through the desert at high speed, it's going to help keep those turbos spooled up so you have power on tap at all times. The rock crawling mode is what it sounds like. It's just going to help you descend hills when times get a little hairy, but for the most part, the mud or sand mode is what you're going to be using when you're doing some off-roading. Now, driving modes aside, there are a few other options when it comes to tricking out the inside of your 2017 Raptor. The truck we're in now, guys, it's a stripper truck, and what I mean by that is there's really not a whole lot of options. It's the 800A package, which essentially is Ford's base package for the Raptor. You're getting the sport cloth seats, you're not getting the fancy touchscreen, but you're still getting everything that makes a Raptor from a suspension standpoint. 801A kicks things up a notch. You're getting leather, you're getting the touchscreen, you're getting sync, things like that. But if I were gonna buy this truck, ball out, go 802A, you can add the optional carbon fiber package, the orange trim leather seats, the 410 front diff, and also the very trick 360-degree camera. Very helpful when this thing is wheeling off-road, or if you just want to park this monster at your local mall. Again, that will add roughly 8 to 10 grand onto the final price tag, but overall, guys, a very affordable truck. In fact, the truck I'm in right now can be had for less than 50 grand sticker price, which is more affordable than my Lariat. So you factor in an 801 or an 802A package Raptor, and you have all the creature comforts of a Lariat or even a Platinum F-150, but with the suspension and hardware to drive over anything. Under the hood, you'll find the new for 2017 twin turbocharged 3.5 liter high output EcoBoost engine. Yes, easily the most polarizing part about this truck for all the diehard V8 guys and gals out there. Listen, does the sound suck? Well, to be honest, yes it does. However, it's not enough to make you want to write this truck off completely. In fact, with the increased horsepower and torque along with that lightweight aluminum body, the new for 2017 EcoBoost would easily blow the doors off the 6.2 liter Raptor, even if it sounds terrible while doing so. But let's remember what I said at the very beginning of this video. The sooner we get past the sound of this thing, the sooner we'll be able to fully enjoy this truck. So what do you say we do that? Now, this isn't your standard run-of-the-mill 3.5 liter EcoBoost that you're gonna find in the standard F-150. This is the high output version, and yes, there are differences, lots of them. You're looking at a different crankshaft, different rod bearings, different pistons, resulting in a different compression ratio. Ford actually tossed in some oil piston squirters here for this thing as well. You're also looking at different turbos, different wastegates, and a different intercooler. Now, all of these differences result in an advertised power output of 450 horsepower, 510 foot-pounds of torque at the crank. And the nice thing about this turbocharged power plant is that these numbers are going to be very easy to inflate with the addition of an aftermarket tune. Another new addition for the 2017 Raptor is a stronger transfer case along with that 10-speed automatic transmission that was actually co-developed by both Ford and General Motors. Now, this was more than likely done to help EPA numbers, but there are some benefits while on the road. Even though those shifts never really seem to stop, they are firm and pretty pleasant, especially when controlled by the magnesium paddle shifters on the Raptor-specific steering wheel. Another awesome addition to the Raptor and something I'd like to have in my personal F-150. Now, there's no long-term durability testing done yet on either the high output engine or that 10-speed auto, but needless to say, they're up for some pretty hardcore thrashing. All right, guys, so we're in the truck on the road. Let's hammer down, shall we? All right, so there's a little hesitation between these paddle shifts, but all in all, this thing gets up and boogies pretty well for a big truck. So we're in sport mode now, and as you can see, it really holds the gear in this thing. I have a 2015 Lariat EcoBoost truck. Sport mode tends to do the same thing, but I almost feel like it's a little bit more exaggerated here with the 10-speed. And listen, the 6.2 is great, right? I mean, obviously we all know it sounds better. It's a big hulking motor, right? It's displacement, just red-blooded, bald eagle American motors. That being said, that cheesy adage, no replacement for displacement except boost, and that really is the case here. I mean, the low-end torque in this thing is just awesome. I mean, it puts you back. And that's kind of what you want too in an off-road rig like this, because you figure you want that low-end torque to be able to pull you out of obstacles, things like that, and it's on tap. So that is good. But we're merging onto the highway. Put our foot into it a little bit. Definitely rolls out. Now this big BFG, the KO2s, again, for having such an aggressive tread compound, they're really quiet on the road. I mean, we're on a concrete highway. There's grooves, there's things like that. Dead quiet. It's really quiet inside the cab as well. And it rides good. I mean, listen, I could daily this thing all day and have absolutely no complaints. Maybe the gas mileage, I mean, we're looking high single digits now, low double digits. Granted, we've been flogging the absolute piss out of this thing. Ford claims you should see high teens under normal driving conditions, but come on, what is that really? It's a nice truck, man. They've really stepped up their game as far as balancing off-road functionality, pickup truck functionality, and just creature comforts. I mean, these things, granted this isn't the best example because this is kind of a base truck, but still, the creature comforts in these things anymore rival luxury cars, and you really are spoiled here in the modern age of cars and trucks. But that being said, guys, come on, the Raptor, yes, it's great on the road, but this thing was meant to kick some ass off-road, so what do you say we do that? Now, some people might see the 2017 Raptor and unfairly assume that all Ford did was slap on an elaborate body kit, bolt up some fancy suspension, and call it a day, which really isn't the case at all. In fact, the only thing the Raptor shares with its standard F-150 brethren is the cab itself. Everything else is completely unique. Now, that muscled up body and fancy suspension does ride on a unique frame. The Super Cab short bed truck is what we're in right now. And that features a 133-inch frame. This is only available in a Raptor configuration. And underneath that new frame, of course, you'll find an abundance of armor to protect all of the truck's vitals. In fact, Chief Engineer Ford Performance, Jamal Hamidi, said this thing features an abundance of high-strength steel, reinforced shock mounts so you can get pretty crazy off-road, in addition to a lot more bolstering kind of between the bed and door area, which is a known weak spot for these things. We're thrashing it now, man, so Jamal, so far, so good. But without a doubt, the star of the Raptor, of course, is the suspension, just like the previous generation. And once again, it just really separates this truck from any other F-150 or any other truck on the road for that matter. Ford Performance and Fox Racing teamed up yet again to come up with an even crazier creation this time around compared to the last generation Raptor, featuring 44% more capacity than that previous generation Raptor's components. Now this all starts with a massive 3-inch shock featuring 9 levels of internal bypass or zoning, which allows you to get pretty crazy off-road like we're doing now, and a ton of travel. Again, 13 inches up front, nearly 14 inches in the rear. These are just ridiculous numbers that allows you to get pretty dumb off-road and also allows you to run desert terrain at speeds previously reserved for trophy trucks. Well, let's see what this new suspension can really do, shall we? Let's do it. All right, get this puddle here. Oh boy, hold on. Oh. Woo-hoo-hoo. Yeah. It can go through puddles pretty good. Oh Lord, wipers work pretty well. This place is pretty rutted out. I mean, we're definitely testing that suspension and the travel. Holy hell. Oh, this is a lot of fun. I gotta get me one of these things, man. But we just made short work of this pretty deep rutted out trails. Honestly, this thing barely was breaking a sweat. All of these levels of internal bypass and zoning allow for a comfortable, almost sporty ride while on the road. And that final 9th level of internal bypassing actually acts as like an internal bump stop, preventing these things from bottoming out while on the road or on the trail. Now, does this mean you can buy one of these things right off the showroom floor and enter it into a jumping contest? Well, not exactly, but it does mark a huge step forward for a factory-produced truck, and it does allow you to get pretty crazy off-road. Well, we came, we saw, and we pretty much drove over every damn thing in sight. And as expected, the 2017 Raptor is really nothing short of amazing. Now, the sad part is most Raptor owners out there will probably never see anything more than pavement, which is a damn shame because this thing really is incredible off-road. And if that is the case, hand me your keys and I will promptly Baja mode my way to jail. Now guys, you have to thrash on this thing. You have to be tough on it because then you really know where your money goes. Or you can just sit and kind of stare at it too, which is what I'm about to do right now. Well guys, that's gonna wrap up this episode of Hot Lap and my review here, of course, of the Raptor. I had a blast getting this thing a little muddy, and it really is an awesome machine, if you can get past the noise, of course. And we wanna hear from you guys. Drop us a comment wherever you're watching this, and let us know what you think of the Raptor and the review. Don't forget, guys, we are splitting Hot Lap into 2 different episodes now, so you're getting 2 per month. Next episode will feature Steph's build. I know you guys have been waiting for that one, and it is going to be getting a little faster, but that's all I'll say for now. But for now, thanks guys for watching, and for all things Mustang, F-150, and Raptor, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.